We're starting our recipe by making the dough for the donuts. Take 1 cup of warm whole milk and pour it into a mixing bowl. Then add 2 1/4 teaspoons of instant yeast and let it stand for 5-10 minutes until it comes back to life. Then stir the mixture until it's all combined and the yeast is perfectly mixed with the milk.
Add 3 tablespoons of melted butter which has been slightly cooled, 1 egg, 1/4 cup of sugar, 2 teaspoons of salt, and 1.5 cups of all-purpose flour, so half the amount you will need, which is 3 cups, and beat on low speed until the mixture comes all together. Then add the rest of the flour and beat again until mixed. At this point, switch to the dough hook and knead on medium speed until the dough pulls away from the sides of the bowl and it is nice and smooth.
Flour a flat surface and then roll your dough into a smooth ball. It will be quite sticky, so don't worry about it because Erica is here to help you out. Haha. Take an oil bowl and place the dough in the bowl, making sure to roll it around to oil the donut dough. Then take some plastic wrap and place it on top of the bowl. Let it rest in a warm spot for about an hour or until double in size.
While the dough is resting, we're going to make our pistachio and chocolate fillings. For the pistachio one, take a small pot and add 135 grams of sugar, 50 grams of cornstarch, a pinch of salt, 2 egg yolks, 50 grams of pistachio paste, and just a bit of the 375 ml of milk. Whisk them all together until smooth and then add the rest of the milk. Bring it all together on the stove on medium-high heat and keep stirring until it thickens. The thickening happens very quickly, so don't take your eyes off the mixture. It will become a beautiful green color, and when it's ready, transfer it to a bowl to cool down. Cover it with plastic wrap so that the air doesn't get in and a skin doesn't form.
Now let's move on to the chocolate filling. Pour 250 grams of milk, 1 teaspoon of vanilla in a small pot. Simmer on low heat until almost about to boil. In another pot, add 70 grams of sugar, 2 egg yolks, and mix together with a spatula. Add 23 grams of cornstarch and a pinch of salt. Place a bit of the hot milk mixture to temper the eggs and mix together. At this point, pour the rest of the milk in the egg mixture and whisk. Bring it back to the stove and keep mixing until it thickens. Transfer in a bowl and add 50 grams of chopped dark chocolate to the cream and mix until it's nice and smooth. Then cover with plastic wrap and let it cool.
After about an hour, our dough should be ready for the next step, so take your dough and punch it down a few times. Flour a flat surface and roll the dough out to 1/2 inch thickness. And with a cookie cutter or whatever kind of cutter you have, cut the dough into circles and rest them onto a baking sheet with parchment paper and let them rise for another hour.
Meanwhile, let's make the glazes. Let's begin with the pistachio one. So take 150 grams of white chocolate, chopped and placed into a bowl on top of a pot with boiling water, and let the chocolate melt. Don't let the bowl touch the water. Then add 40 milliliters of whole cream and 40 grams of pistachio cream and lower the heat. Mix it all together for a few minutes until you get a smooth glaze. Transfer the glaze into a bowl and keep stirring until it cools down a bit.
For the chocolate glaze, add 70 grams of sugar and 120 ml of water into a pot and heat it up until almost to a boil. Lower the heat and add 150 grams of dark chocolate. Mix it all together until smooth. Transfer the glaze into a bowl and let it cool before using it.
Now let's get our donuts back and let's fry them. Pour vegetable oil into a medium pot about 2 inches or 5 centimeters and heat it up until it reaches 360 Fahrenheit. You can check the temperature with a thermometer. Keep checking to make sure that the oil stays around that temperature. You don't want to burn the donuts.
Then drop, as in carefully lower, 1 or 2 donuts in the pot and let them fry for about a minute, then flip them and leave them for another minute. When they're ready, take them out of the oil and place them on a plate with some paper towels to absorb the oil.
Now that our donuts are done and cool, we're going to fill them. So take 2 piping bags and fill them with the 2 fillings. Make a hole in the donuts and fill them. You will fill it when they're almost full. Do the same for all the donuts, alternating the fillings and then glaze them. and place them back on the baking sheet to harden. We glaze the chocolate donuts with pistachio and the pistachio ones with the chocolate. Yum!
Our donut tasted like a freshly made donut, as it should, and was bursting with that delicious chocolate filling. Remember to subscribe and like for more videos just like this one.